Cage Minds, Micah Frankel. We're at the JacksonWink Academy. We got Seth Abeita with us. Jackson's MMA Series 19, June 25th, up at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. Back in there, featherweight division, taking on Conquest MMA's Nate Armstrong. First off, Seth, how you feeling?
I feel good. I'm excited to be on the card. It's coming up training. I've always seen all the other Jackson's fighters coming up. Isaac, Joey Villasenor, Nick Gonzalez, see all them. So it's an honor to be fighting on the Jackson series after those guys. Yeah, so I'm excited. I feel good.
And then what does it do for you? It's the Jackson's MMA series. Know you got teammates and there's a buzz around the gym every time. What does that do fighting on this card, this series?
It pushes you, it motivates you, especially this card's going to have a lot more pro fights. So the intensity level has been kicked up a notch. And that's good. It motivates everybody, gets you that little extra boost. So, I mean, it's good all the way around, especially main event, Nick Gonzalez. Oh, man, he's been on fire.
And what is that like for you? I mean, Nick Gonzalez, John Sparks up at the top of the card. Guys that have been here as long as you since 2009, all you guys pushing each other. What does that do for you seeing them up at the top of the card?
That motivates me, especially on a personal level. Even Nick, he's been there since my first fight. He's been in my corner every fight, all my smokers, everything. And to see the work, the dedication that he puts in, it motivates me. Those days when you're like, man, I'm sore, I don't feel like going, and to see the way everybody else puts in the work, it's like no excuses. You can't have any excuses.
Over the last 2 years, you've kicked up the pace, kicked up the amount of times you're fighting, the amount of time you're staying in the gym. Has this been a realization? You have a feeling, there's a small window, I need to take advantage of what I can?
Yes. I kind of started training late, and I know now, if you want to be good, you have to stay consistent. You have to outwork everybody else around you. I mean, you think about it, whoever you're fighting, they're going to be trying to do the same thing to you. So, I mean, you have to add that consistency, that dedication to really improve. You have to have a strong foundation and keep building on it. You can't stop. Once you get complacent, once you stop, you're not going anywhere.
First time I saw you was out at Steel Dragon, out in Alamogordo, got a quick TKO win. Then we saw you in the cage, and Chris Gonzalez really tested you on the takedowns. We saw a bunch of getting crazy, phenomenal kicks out of you in that fight. Then you came back in your last one and showed a guillotine. So how do you feel you're doing in becoming a well-rounded martial artist? I've seen the boxing, I've seen the kickboxing, we've seen jiu-jitsu.
That's the biggest thing is Chris really, that fight was really good for me. He put me in places that I wasn't comfortable, that I needed to work on. He showed some weaknesses in my game, and it was crazy because before that I wasn't sure how I'd react to a loss, and that lit a fire under me. It made me want to be complete. It made me want to be well-rounded. That way, if whatever situation I'm in, that's where we go, and that's why we're MMA, mixed martial artists. You have to be complete. I can't rely on my stand-up. I've got to be able to handle any situation that comes my way. And that's one thing since that fight, we've really focused on is, okay, you don't like doing this, let's do it. You're not comfortable here, that's where you're gonna be. Joey Villasenor and Nick Gonzalez, they put me in those situations on purpose now, and I've grown a lot because of that. So thanks to Chris for putting me there.
Chris put you there, and then your next cage opponent was Casey Yates. He came up from a wrestling gym, so they went with the same game plan. You got out of a guillotine, you got out of a triangle. Both look kind of deep, and then you even got your own submission. So being pushed in these areas, how do you feel you're advancing now, even getting offensive with your own submission game?
I feel a lot more comfortable. Just being there and being comfortable in the situation and still be able to react calmly to the situation and do what I need to do, not freak out. Oh, you got a takedown. It's like, all right, here we are. What are we gonna do about it? Just having that mindset, wherever we go, I'm fine.
And again, coming at you, Nate Armstrong, he comes from a jiu-jitsu gym. I believe he has also a wrestling background, so it looks like more of the same for you.
Yes, sir. He's actually fought a couple of my teammates, so we know what he's going to do. He's really talented. I have nothing but respect for what he does. This is gonna be what, his seventh fight. So you know, someone that's had seven fights, they're deep into it. They're dedicated to what they do. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough fight, and he's good at what he does. We're just gonna go out there and see if we can win that chess match.
With the gym, with all the talent here, how much harder than you expected you have to push yourself to keep growing, to keep evolving?
It's amazing. It's amazing. So many people, like, you hear them talk about how they got into MMA, and it was like, oh, seeing Diego Sanchez on The Ultimate Fighter, oh, seeing like John Jones, seeing like all these people that come here, Holly defeating Ronda, that brought in so many fans. And actually walking into the gym every day and seeing them, sometimes it is kind of hard not to be starstruck. I remember the first time I had drilled with Diego, and he kneed me, like he got me with a nasty knee, and I was like, it messed me up, but after practice I was honored. I remember posting on Facebook like, oh wow, like I got beat up by Diego today. And that, like, seeing their work ethic, their dedication, like, it just pushes you to be better. Like, you can't come in here and play around. You can't come in here and have off days. You have to be your best. You have to bring your A game every day.
Well, you said you've been here since 2009, so how did Seth Abeita find his way to the Jackson gym back then?
I grew up, I'm native. I grew up on the reservation. I kind of rough and tumble life. I was always fighting. I was a bit of a knucklehead. Anybody that knows me from my high school days knows I was fighting a lot. I played a lot of basketball, and at tournaments, it kind of came out, and a few of my real close friends were like, you know, you should try that cage fight. You should try that cage fight. And I was kind of a victim of the same thing everybody else. I see it a lot of people that watch, like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. And that was the attitude I had. The first day I walked into the gym, Isaac Valley Flag, he gave me my intro, and I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. I stayed for class. Coach Dale McCarty was teaching the striking class that night, and I got pieced up everywhere. I couldn't land a punch on anybody. I was embarrassed. I really got served a big slice of humble pie, but I was addicted. I had to come back. The next day I was like, let's do it. Let's go to practice. And it's just, that's one of the exciting things about it, is as much as you know, there's so much more that you don't know. And it's just a never-ending journey of learning. It's amazing.
How has this journey, martial arts, helped you grow as a person?
It's one of the biggest things is when you get that fight, you have that goal, and then your coaches go over, okay, we have all these little objectives we need to accomplish in order to reach that goal. And then once you get your hand raised, all the sacrifice, all the hard work pays off. Like, it's one of the greatest feelings ever. Like, and it's an addictive feeling. And then that work ethic carries into over into other areas of your life, and it just makes you a better person. You start to, fighting is one of the most stressful things. You go into that cage, someone else is trying to take your head off, but you have to remain calm. That's one of the keys. And so being able to face adversity like that, it carries over into other situations where maybe before I might not have reacted in a favorable manner. I can step back and be like, okay, what do I need to do here? What's the best approach? How can I get the best outcome out of this situation? So it gives you discipline, it gives you drive, it gives you passion, because you have to be passionate about doing this, because getting beat up every day for, like, I think Casey Yates, actually, there's something kind of wrong with you if you want to be beat up every day. Yeah.
For you, I've seen a lot of amateurs with some followings, but I never heard a King of the Cage get as loud as when you won. Now, we know, coming from the res, a tight-knit community, do you feel that support, and do you feel the obligation to then be a role model within the community out there?
I do, and that's something I take really, really seriously. I appreciate all of the people that support me, because they're taking time out of what they do to come and get behind me, and I feel like my success is their success. Like, especially being native, we have so many adverse things on the reservation. You know, we have a lot of negative things like alcoholism, substance abuse, domestic violence, and I hope that they see through me that it doesn't have to be that way. There's positive outlets you can overcome. I mean, you take me for example. I'm the typical, like, my dad was an alcoholic, killed himself drinking. I had an older brother that was killed. I had every excuse to go wrong, and being able to fight and channel that energy somewhere else, like, it can be done. And I hope they look at me and know that I represent them, and that positive things can come if you're willing to put in the work. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Sure that June 25th we're going to see an exciting fight. Thank you for the time for the interview, sir. And who did you need to shout out to? Who did you need to thank?
Oh, first and foremost, my teammates, my coaches. The team here is amazing. Joey Villasenor, Nick Gonzalez, Chris Rojas. He's been helping me immensely. Another huge factor, all my little ones. My kids, they're my motivation. They wake me up every day and make sure that I give it my all. Everybody that supported me, and Cage Minds for being here today.
See everybody up there June 25th at Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino for Jackson's MMA Series 19.